people the consequences of not doing the right thing. So this sister's in this basket, and it's a unfortunate, life-threatening situation where it looks like there's no way out, or the way she ends up is not a good way out. For though she travels, she is still in the basket, still trapped, still contained, not free. But we're thankful for grace, for there is another way. She's not the only woman in this text. I remember when your pastor, my brother, gave me a very important piece of advice one time when I was the woman in the basket. I'm going to be transparent right now. Yes, I'm a preacher's daughter. Yes, I'm a preacher's sister. But I didn't always do right. I was trapped in a tough situation. I was trapped in a place of my own negative thoughts. I was trapped in a basket of my own choosing. We choose a basket sometimes. Choosing to live a life of sin. Couldn't even accept my own call to preach. Have mercy, Lord. Because I was thinking my ways were better than God's ways. So here I am living in my own basket, my own uncomfortable situation, and enter my dear brother. We've always been close. You see, Tony's the moral compass of the family. The first of our siblings to preach. We all preaching now. He was the first one. The first to go to graduate school, the first to get married, and Jesus said that the last shall be first and the first shall be last. Well, that's Tony. Anyway, in my basket situation, Tony reminds me there isn't an alternative. He said, as clear as day, you always have options. And thank the Lord that I heard him, and I started to make my way out of the basket, and the option led me to that fine prophet I'm sitting right over there that I've been married to for 5 years. See, the devil has this way of making us think there are no options. You see, you're 20, you're 30, you're 40, even 50, and you ain't married yet, and you've been waiting on the God a long time. And God knows my heart. He understands that we're going to get there one day. It ain't hurt nobody. Nobody needs to know. You see, you're struggling to face the day or the night. You seek out a little help from the drugs that don't come from the doctor. And after that, you tell yourself, I need some help. I'm tired of looking at what I'm looking at. I need some cakes. I'm talking about options right now. That's the wrong option. You see him or her out. It makes you mad as hell. And you figure it's payback time. You might as well get them what's coming to them. I need to get back what's stolen from me. You feel like you don't have any options, so you make your own options. You're scared. How many of you know that when we try to fix it ourselves, that is when we mess it up? Somebody say, trust in the Lord and all thine heart, and lean not to your own understanding. All thy ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. So that is a word to somebody that you always have options. Like the woman in John 8 that always was almost stoned for being caught in adultery. You can go another way, sister. Anybody out there encouraged yet? You see, I love my brother Tony because if nothing else, Tony will always tell you the truth. Mount Emmanuel, you have a good pastor because a lot of preachers and pastors will tell you what you want to hear. But they won't tell you the truth. Like my husband says, we need prophets who speak truth to power. And the beauty about what God says about truth is that the truth will set you free. Are you glad about it, Mount Emmanuel? Anybody want to be set free today? The word will set you free. Say, set me free, Lord. So the first part of this text finds the woman in the basket. But she's not the only woman in the picture. If we keep reading, we find two women with wings into the picture. I've got to use my wings, Mount Emmanuel. How many of you know the Lord will give you double for your trouble? You find one woman in the basket, but you meet two women with wings by the end of the story. These are women with a purpose. They have wings for a purpose. They use their wings to carry the woman in the basket off to Babylon. Look at verse 9 and 10 and 11. Then I looked up, and there before me were two women with wind in their wings. They had wings like those of a stork, and they lifted up the basket between heaven and earth. Where are they taking the basket? I asked the angel who was speaking to me. He replied, to the country of Babylonia to build a house for it. When it is ready, the basket will be set there in its place. These women had the wings of a stork. You know what a stork is. A stork is a real big bird. He gave these women wings big enough to carry the basket. He gave them wings big enough to handle the task. And it was a big task, but somebody say, I can handle it. With God, I can handle it. That's another word of encouragement today. With God, I can handle it. God is the wind within their wings. Again, the woman has options. So I ask you today, do you want to be the woman in the basket or the woman with wings? Reverend Dr. Elaine Flake powerfully and prophetically speaks of this battle in her sermon, When Women Have Wings, in her book, God in Her Midst. It is that sermon that inspired this sermon. Somebody say, I've got wings and I've got to use them. We know that God sent his son. They called him Jesus. He came to love, heal, and forgive. He lived and died to buy my part. I'm so glad. Say, I'm so glad my Savior lived. You always have options. You have heard another prophet speak of it, and Fred Hammond has a song out right now that speaks it so well. The prophet Isaiah writes in chapter 40, verse 31, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not get weary. They will walk and not be faint. I know this is Women's Day, but there's a word for brothers in this text too. The text starts with a brother with a vision. The vision of a prophet. The vision had a specific purpose. Brother, do you have a vision? If you don't have a vision, you should. Where there's no vision, the people perish. Vision gives you a purpose. It gives you something to work for. If you don't have a vision right now, commit to work on it. Work on finding it. That's another word of encouragement. I hope you're keeping count. There's a lot of words of encouragement up in here. It gives you something to work for. You see, there's another word in this text. There are 3 women in this vision, and one is trapped in the basket, and 2 are women with wings. It is obvious that women are important in the basket. Just like creation was incomplete until God created woman through man, women are important to God. If you never felt like you was important to anybody, women are important to God. That is why they are there in this text. No matter how they may treat us and what the world may tell us, no matter what they don't pay us, what they don't give us, we are important to God. Sister, you are important to God. So, brother, where is the woman in your vision? It doesn't have to be your wife or your intended wife. Where is Big Mama in your vision? Where is your sister in your vision? Where is your church member in your vision? Where is your daughter in your vision? Where is your niece in your vision? Brother, make sure somewhere there is a sister in your vision. We are all in this thing together. Women are important. They are important to God. And they are just as important to helping you get where you need to go. Somebody say, where is my vision? Now that you know you got wings, the next question is, how do I use them? One of the dangerous things about life is that sometimes we forget who we are. We let life's painful circumstances get us all out of whack. One of the most well-known pieces of black folklore tells this well. My sister, Dr. Alicia Simmons, will appreciate this. Have you ever heard about the people who could fly? It is a tale of the Gullah people from down in the low country in South Carolina. Gullah is short for Angola. That is a country in West Africa where these people came from. Toni Morrison, the author, writes about this in her book, Song of Solomon. One Saturday morning, Diane and I were at the